is Louise Parker. I am a certified wellness coach and I specialize in meditation and yoga. So I wanted to create this yoga flow and breath exercises for COVID and COVID recovery because I have researched so much about how using our breath and positioning our body is so important in recovery from and post-recovery in COVID. So some of the resources that I've used are from Johns Hopkins University, from Harvard, and I will link those below. But I want you to know that there's definitely science behind that, and all of the poses and all of the breath techniques that I will be showing you today have been proven to help in COVID recovery. So we're going to be starting with some yoga poses, and these are so simple, and please take them at your own pace. And before we get started, actually, just know, as always, to check with your doctor before doing any kind of exercise, even if it's simple yoga poses or stretching or breath exercises, especially with COVID. And if you start to feel lightheaded, dizzy, heart palpitations, if you get even more out of breath, just stop, pause, and come back to it later, okay? So like I said, we're going to start with some yoga poses. So I want you to just sit here in Sukhasana, simple cross-legged. So right foot in front of left, hands on your knees, come forward to the front of your sit bones and just ground down through the tailbone, pushing down through your feet. Feel the connection with your hands on your knees, lifting through the crown of the head to lengthen the spine, and just feel the lower back area opening up, creating space for those so important lungs. Okay, put the left foot in front of the right. This might feel awkward, but again, connect to the earth through the tailbone, through your feet. Lengthen through the tailbone and the back of the head. Feel the shoulder blades opening, your chest becoming buoyant. Continue to breathe with a nice, easy, free breath. I'm not doing any special breathing exercises here. Okay, on the next inhale, pull through to your knees. We're going to do child's pose. So there are many variations of child's pose. You can do it with the knees together, bum on your heels, arms behind you, forehead to the floor. You can do it with your arms outstretched. And then we can also do a supported child's pose. So if you have a bolster or a pillow or anything, put that between your legs. Just relax over it, head to one side, arms out in front. And you really could, I'm going to move back a little bit, you really could be here for a while in this pose. But this pose is so good for COVID because research has shown that proning, which is being on your front and having your head just below your chest, is so good for opening up the lungs and creating space in the lungs and using the whole of the lungs. Because in everyday life we're not great about breathing efficiently anyway, but especially with COVID. Okay, so that's one option for the supported child's pose. Another option is to get a blanket and put it across your bolster. just so that you can, maybe a little bit higher. So you can really just ease over it. It becomes such an easy pose. Okay, so you want this to feel very restorative and so easy. You could even put your forehead on the bolster. You don't have to turn it to one side with the blanket. And if you have a gap between the legs and the bum, just put a blanket under there as well. Oh, and believe me, that feels so good. So you could stay here for 1 to 2 minutes, and doing that a few times a day is very, very beneficial for your lungs during COVID. Okay, pose we will be doing is locust pose. Okay, so we're laying on your front. Yeah, legs are stretched out, reaching with the toes. Your arms are by your side, palms facing up, reaching through the fingertips. Now, depending on how much energy you have right now, you can lift both the arms, the chest, and the legs. So really reaching with those toes and fingers, lifting with the chest, creating space in the lower back. And just hold this for about 20 seconds and come down. If you are just not feeling that right now, you can keep your head on the floor and lift each leg alternatively. Or if you have a little bit more energy, you can lift both legs together. And then just take the front, lift the arms, lift the chest on its own. Okay, so just do whatever you are feeling like today. And maybe yesterday you felt great, today you don't. Just accept that. It is all a part of the recovery. Okay, come onto all fours. I'm going to do a really simple cat-cow. Okay, so make sure that knees are hip-width apart, underneath the hips. Hands are underneath the shoulders. As you exhale, hollow out the back to a cow. As you inhale, hollow out the back. As you exhale, round the back for cat. And on your own breath cycle, inhale for the back bend, exhale for the forward fold. Grounding down through the hands, through the tops of the feet. And just going on your own breath cycle. Moving the body, creating space in the lungs, creating space in the spine. On the next inhale, come back to neutral. I'm going to go back to that child's pose. So whichever child's pose felt good for you, you can spread your knees if that's easier. You can bring the bolster. You can do it unsupported if you're super flexible. But just make sure that your back is nice and rounded. Okay, that's the aim for this pose, is to have a nice rounded back. Okay, so the way I'm doing it is pretty high blanket on top of my bolster, just under my stomach, blanket under my butt. Kind of push it back there so that I can have a nice round back. You can see my forehead is on the bolster. And honestly, I could be here for hours. I'm not recommending being here for hours, but I could be. It's that comfortable, and that's how comfortable I want you to be, okay? So feel the space opening up in the lower back, the kidney band area. Feel the grounding in the lower legs, your forehead. feel how relaxing and restorative this pose is. Okay, you're welcome to stay there for a couple more minutes. For now, we're just going to lay down on our backs for bridge pose. Now, if you have a yoga block or a bolster or blanket or pillow or whatever, I want you to just grab it. We're going to do a supported bridge pose. Okay, so lay down, knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor, and we're just going to lay back over the bolster or the blanket. Arms, shoulders are on the floor, feet are grounding, lengthening through the crown of the head, which lengthens the spine. And this is just a much more supported version of bridge pose, which again is an excellent way to clear out those lungs, create space in the lungs. Okay, come back to sit. We're going to work on some breath techniques now. So these breath techniques I actually got from Johns Hopkins University. I've been working with breath techniques for a few years now. So I'm really excited that I'm able to share this with you, but also that it came from such a reputable source. The first thing that we're going to do is belly breathing. So really it's just becoming aware of the breathing in your body. You know, we breathe every day. When you have COVID, obviously breathing becomes such a huge part of your life in terms of how you breathe, whether you're struggling breathing. But most of the time we just ignore how we breathe. We just breathe, right? So this is just becoming aware of where the breath in our body is going to. All right, so first of all, just sit crisscross if that's comfortable for you, hands on your knee. And just close your eyes and just breathe. Accept the inhale and release the exhale. Accept the inhale and release the exhale. Breathing in, breathing out. Just notice where the struggles are in your body. If you feel like you are unable to catch your breath, where do you feel that? Do you feel it in your chest, your throat, your heart area? Just be aware of it. Now, still with your eyes closed, I want you to take your right hand just below your belly button and your left hand just above the belly button. Now we're going to direct that breath as you breathe in. Try to move the hands, even if it's just a little bit. As you breathe in, breathe all the way down to your belly. Move those hands and let the air leave the body. Breathe in and move your hands and let the air leave the body. Okay, so you can continue that for one more minute. Now we're going to go to the back. We're going to do some deep breathing while on your back. Okay, so while we're laying down, just lay down flat. And again, take right hand below the belly button right hand above the belly button. And as you breathe in, move the hands on the belly. And as you breathe out, feel the hands release. Breathe in, move the hands on the belly. Breathe out, watch the hands release. Continue like this for 1 more minute, just focusing on moving the breath all the way down to the belly. You can imagine that inhale filling up the body, all the way down to the feet. And the exhale, releasing through the chest. So the inhale fills up the body with oxygen, and the exhale releases all of that air from your body. And again, continue like this for 1 minute. You're going to roll onto your belly. Okay, bring the hands in front of you, forehead rests on your hands, and just get comfortable. Reach the toes long. And as you inhale here, I want you to feel the stomach moving on the mat. So because of the way that we're lying, you should be able to feel where in your body you're breathing into. So as you inhale, the stomach pushes up, and as you exhale, you release back down to the mat. So breathe in to the stomach area, feel it move, and breathe out, release that air. Breathe in, feel the stomach moving, breathe out, let the stomach and the air go. And if you can only do one of the exercises, this is 100% the exercise to do. Laying on your stomach, prone like this, doing deep breathing is one of the best breathing techniques that we can do for COVID. So if you only have the energy for one thing, do this, okay? So one more thing I'm going to show you, one more breathing exercise, which is one of my favorites because I think it's just really fun and it's really fun to do with kids, is to breathe like normal. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and the next time you exhale, hum. Just like inhale, exhale and hum. Now just do it on your own for a few times. Exhaling like that is actually a really good way to ensure that we are letting go of all of the air that's in our body, because oftentimes we hold on to that air that's in our body. We don't complete the full exhale. It is also, I'm going to read this to you from Johns Hopkins. It helps to increase nitric oxide production in the body, which helps with building and repairing of the nervous system and dilates blood vessels, enabling more oxygen to be delivered throughout the body. So there you go. Hum while you exhale. It also is calming and soothing and reduces stress. Brilliant, right? So there's two exercises, the breath exercises that I want you to do if you can't do anything else, is laying down on your stomach and breathing in, laying down on your front and breathing into your stomach, and inhale and then hum on the exhale. Okay, so if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I am here to help.